Hello, my beautiful fiery Aries. So, this is going to be a reading. This is for everyone who has Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or significant first house placements. Of course, we all have a significant rising sign, but that's besides the point. So, what we're going to do today is honestly, I don't know yet because yeah, this doesn't have a specific theme. This is just a blind reading to see what has to come out for my fellow Aries people. I pre-shuffled some oracles for you guys, and then I'm going to look into the tarot to have a little bit more clarity about whatever the situation is about. And yeah, I think that's all that we have to know for now. So these are just general cards to indicate what type of situation you might be currently dealing with. First of all, we have mutable. Then we have the kiss archetype. Then for the chakra card, we have forgiveness with the third eye. And then I actually got two of these cards of the Soul Journey Lessons cards. I believe this deck is called. Every deck that I use, by the way, is always linked down or listed down below in the description. The first one that we have is relationships with I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And then we have acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Do I want to? Yeah. And lastly, we have solar eclipse with revolution. There's a cat here. Okay, Aries. So, first of all, there's a lot of higher chakra energy, call it spiritual energy, crown chakra, third eye energy. There's also a veil of darkness to this spread, I must say. I feel like what you're currently going through is, first of all, it for sure does have to do with relationships, like any type of relationships. It could be friendships, it could be just human connections. It doesn't have to be necessarily romantic relationships. I mean, for some people, it will of course be romantic relationships, since we do have the kiss here, but not for everyone. This is just about human connections, human relationships in general. What I feel like you have been dealing with is some very harsh I feel like what you've been dealing with is some very harsh connections, either one in specific or like multiple, one after another. Very harsh connections that sort of left you feeling, I want to say left you feeling hungry for love and affection. Especially with the solar eclipse with revolution, number 44, number 8 might be relevant to you somehow. But especially with this card, I feel like the relationships that you've recently been dealing with really sort of like, what's the word? Like, they left you feeling like you didn't matter, like you were unimportant, like you were unloved, like you were completely obscured by the people that you were relating to. These connections might have made you feel very small. These connections might have, I want to say, muted you, like that it was very hard for you to speak up, that you was sort of pushed, and I'm picturing this like little piece of paper that is being crushed and sort of like balled up, just like as tight and tiny as possible. And I feel like that's what you've been going through within certain relationships. And I feel like through all of this, this sort of like dark, painful, I want to say almost toxic, through these really dark scenarios, like dark connections that have brought a lot of darkness inside of you, truly, that have been leaving you feeling like you were in the dark for a long time. I feel like you might still somewhat be inside of that dark. Of course, like it's gonna change, like it's gonna vary for everyone who's watching this. but you might still feel like you're somewhat in the dark due to these, like, to how much these connections have hurt you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that other people actively hurt you. Like, sure, that could definitely be the case for some people. For other people, it might be the case that these connections were just very much shedding light to places inside of you that were already hurting, that sort of like triggered them so much that they came out with so much more fire than they used to. Like, some, probably even some things that you thought you were over, or some things that you thought that you had processed already, that suddenly sort of like blew up in your face. And for some time you might have been feeling like you didn't know how to deal with those things, with that darkness that was like inside of you and surrounding you. But I feel like through all of that, you have had a huge awakening, especially with all this third eye energy. They've gone through this awakening about yourself and about what it means to truly love yourself, and what it is that it means to love someone else. Like, especially with all these relationships that might have gone to shiz, basically. You might have realized that those relationships only served you, of course, like, besides hurting you and besides actually putting you down. They truthfully served you to understand what love is not, and to understand what it is that you want from relationships. Like, you understand that you want to be, right now, that you want to be surrounded by people who actually want what it is that what is the best for you, and they want to take care of you. They want you to be okay. People who check in on you, people who care about your feelings, people who are asking actually how you're doing, people who give you that attention that you might have been feeling like it was very unfair for you to ask. Like, you didn't deserve to have attention and caring, and loving affection. You're actually starting to see that you do deserve all of those good things that before, through those like darker or toxic relationships, either people actively told you off for demanding like affection or words of affirmation or whatever it is that you were sort of like asking for, either by words or by actions or just by your vibe. You didn't necessarily have to like verbally ask, like, hey, can you text me this often per week, because otherwise I feel alone, or something like that. But it's just with your energy, what it is that you asked or like required from the people around you to feel safe in a relationship, basically, to just have a pleasant, mutual relationship. So you might have actively been told off for even wanting those things, or you might just have felt you yourself like you should not even ask for those things, because it's really selfish for you, or I don't know, like, you don't deserve that much of other people's energy and attention. Like, you would never dare to ask people for their energy and attention, because they have other things to do, they have better things to do. I wouldn't want them to feel like I'm a burden, that type of energy. But you're really starting to realize that no, that is actually a trauma response of yours, and through these connections you've come to realize that that's something that you've been really struggling, or probably for a long time, if not your entire life. And you see the depth and, truthfully, like, the sadness of that, and you don't want that for yourself anymore. And even though it's really hard for yourself at this moment to deal with that, like, you still might have, like, you're very conscious of this process that is going on inside of you. Perhaps now you're like, I do want to assert myself more. I do want to take care of my needs more. I do want to surround myself with people who want to caretake my needs, basically my needs and wishes. But it's still really, really freaking scary, because I'm afraid that I'm going to get the same type of rejection or type of responses or reactions that I'm used to getting, basically. Which, to that, I want to say, you are in a completely different vibration, a completely different frequency, if you will, than before, because you've had this, like, kind of, you're going through this kind of awakening. You're shedding light on all these aspects of yourself. So it is literally not possible for you to attract the same things because you will just not be attracted to the same things. Like, it will really be a turn off, just in, again, not necessarily in romantic relationships, but in general, it will really be a turn off. Like, you will be so, you will feel like a push away from that type of energy that you were getting before. Okay, so you will not actually go towards those type of people again, but you will actually be like, whoa, like, I don't need that in my life right now. Like, nah, this is not for me. So I wanted to reassure you of that. Like, those days are over. You will be able to recognize right now who the right people are for you. And you will be able to step away from those people who don't actually treat you right and who don't actually want your best interest and your higher good, basically. But through all of this, you're also very much learning how to be softer. Like, you might have had a lot of anger, a lot of violent emotions, I want to say, through all of this darkness that you've gone through, and through all of these like faulty connections with people, and these like hurtful, painful connections with people. You're taking the loving road. Like, you're really learning how to be soft, how to... This forgiveness card, forgiveness is a really complex, it's a process. It's not even like a thing that you can decide to do. Like, you either can naturally reach that point of forgiveness because you understand something in a completely different way, and you will know if it resonates. You will know if you've reached those states of true actual forgiveness before. So yeah, some of you might actually be learning how to forgive all of those people because you see that hurt people. So you see through their actions, like, you know that those people who've hurt you and mistreated you before, you are aware that they came from a place of very deep wounding, of a lot of shadow, really, that they probably aren't even aware of themselves. So this is another really big transformation that some of you might have gone through, like completely seeing these people from a different angle, in a different light, and almost having compassion for them, because you see, like, if you had to become that harsh towards the outer world, then I can only imagine how harsh your inner world must be. And that's also why you're choosing the other route. You're choosing softness, you're choosing love, you're choosing light, essentially. You're choosing to, probably, if this is about generational traumas that are being passed on, you know, you're very, very well aware of that, and you are choosing to basically break those curses, if you will. And you refuse to basically take on the shadow of all the people that came before you. And even if this is not like a family generational thing that is being passed on, you still choose to not let the shadow of other people overshadow your light. You're still choosing to shine your light as brightly as you possibly can. And I feel like some of you might feel like right now you're still not shining that brightly, and that's okay. It's a process. You're very much right on track. Like, if you're in this energy right now, if you're resonating with this energy, you're doing absolutely freaking amazing. The changes and transformations and just, I want to say, awakening and that you've been going through recently through these things is just such an incredibly powerful, such a powerful energy to be in, and it's hard. So if you feel like you're not at your uttermost power, like if you're not shining brightly yet, you are literally on your way to get there. And that is just a fact, I want to say. And you will literally, through this transformation and through choosing love and softness and gentleness and kindness, and through seeing the good in people but also not ignoring the bad in people, basically just seeing people for who they are and seeing yourself for who you are, you will attract people who actually, you know, vibe on the same wavelength as you. And I feel like there, especially with this kiss card, I feel like there's a desire. There's a very, very sweet desire to kiss, like maybe even in a very innocent way, in a very non-sexual way, just in a very sensual way, for the sake of touch, for the sake of being present, for the sake of being in your senses, and just being in a very intimate, soft, loving, caring and carefree, I want to say, type of container with another person. I feel like perhaps you've also dropped all expectations that you had from connections with people. Again, not necessarily romantic, but just in general. And that you right now might have reached a point where you're like, I see that different connections, like all connections with people are just different from each other. Like there's no such thing as only strictly romantic or strictly friendship type of connections. I feel like you're seeing a whole different, like again, there's this whole third eye bursting open and seeing things more clearly and seeing people more clearly. So that now you kind of realize, or like you've changed your view on human connections as well, in that sense, and you're not necessarily seeking for anything specific, for instance, like a romantic relationship, but you're really just wanting to have these beautiful, caring, nice, safe connections with people. Okay, so that is it for, that's pretty intense energy, but it's beautiful. It's pretty heavy energy, but it's really beautiful energy. Like it's very powerful spiritual energy, I want to say. And it's really just groundbreaking energy. That type of energy that some of you probably are like, if you would have told me 5 years ago that right now I would be in this state, I would probably just like laugh in your face and shut the door in your face and be like, you're absolutely nuts. But let's see what the tarot has to say. I honestly have no idea what is going to come out, either advice or just some more insight. This is the Moonchild Tarot deck. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, so I want to take 5 cards. Okay, we're going to take 5 cards for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and relevant first house placements. Okay, so we have the 3 of Pentacles. Let's put it that way. Let me see if everything is... Yes, perfect. Do I need to take these? Okay. So we have the 2 of Wands, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Universe, which in this deck, it's the World card. I'm going to pull the last one. Did I say I was going to take 5? Yeah, I'm going to take 5. And I'm going to show you the cards. Okay. And the Chariot. Okay, so this is looking absolutely... Oh my god. Yes. That's literally what I was talking about earlier. Okay, the bottom of the deck is the Justice card. Oh my god, this is exciting. Oh, so yeah. Okay, so you have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Wands. Yes. Oh my god, I'm so happy to see this. Because after this energy, we needed this. Wheel of Fortune in the middle. We have the Universe, which is the World card in this deck. And then we have the beautiful Chariot. Okay, so what this essentially means is, first of all, good fortune is on your way. Like, you're changing your fortune through this awakening that you've been having, like probably multiple awakenings after each other, honestly, for some of you. But you're changing your fortune. That was literally, like, also with this Justice card, I want to see what's beneath that. The Lovers! Oh my god! I can't... Sorry, I got excited. Okay, so... this is awesome. So much love for you guys. Okay. Where were we before we lost our train of thoughts? So yeah, you're changing your fortune. Through all of these awakenings, you're changing your fortune. So you're literally setting yourself up to not attract the same wounded and wounding situations again. in terms of human connections. Because you're attracting like your karma has changed. That's what I want to say. Like your karma has changed, and you're attracting completely different types of scenarios, completely different types of people, completely just different things that probably it's gonna be a little scary or like just weird feeling. You probably feel like you're not even yourself anymore because you've changed so much that just your whole conception of identity and of who I am has just sort of like crumbled. Which truthfully, especially with the social solar eclipse card with revolution, all of these connections that have sort of like been eclipsing the real you, like casting shadow on the real you, they've really served you as sort of like a transition period so that you could get more in touch with who you are and being like, so this is the core of who I am, and this is what I'm gonna shine out into the world, basically. So especially also with this, oh my god, this is so good. Especially with this universe card. Especially with this universe card, this just means like cycles, after the Wheel of Fortune, cycles are coming to an end and you're just moving fastwards. This probably feels like things have been going on just very fastly, that moving very fastly. Is that a word? Just very fast and quickly and swiftly and promptly and just moving forward, basically. This is a beautiful, refreshed, renewed, forward moving energy. And like with the Two of Wands, you're basically standing at the edge of the world with the whole freaking world in your hands. And you're like, you have like a blank slate. That's what I want to say. You have a blank slate because you've closed chapters that were probably being prolonged for way too long, but those chapters are closed now. Probably there are going to be some challenges along the way because you might have like some remnants. It's not that every single person and every single feeling that was sort of like blocking you before, or hurting you before, that was just gonna completely be gone. You're probably gonna have to deal with the remnants, but you're gonna do so much more swiftly and in a balanced way and in a positive way. You're probably gonna also attract people who support you in those things. Like with this Three of Pentacles, really tells me like you're gonna actually have support, which probably you might have lacked in the past. And honestly, with this Lovers beneath the Justice card, you might actually be attracting like a divine counterpart and actually, oh, I don't know if you can see it, an actually healthy, mutual, loving, conscious, aware, caring, nurturing, safe romantic relationship or romantic connection as well. This is looking so good. This is looking absolutely beautiful. Now what I want to do is actually I want to take one of the zodiac cards to see what this. I'm actually going to take these two cards and put them here because they sound relevant. For those of you who are actually in for meeting a divine counterpart, I want to see who this kind of person might be. Let's give a little indication, just having a sneak peek of what to look out for. I mean, if that person comes along either very soon or at some point in life, you will probably recognize them because you're in such an aware state right now, and you're so getting closer to yourself that you're just gonna know when you meet this person. But just for the sake of, I'm gonna take two cards. Let's see. Oh my god, I'm excited to see what comes out here. Oh, I guess we wanted to take three. So we have air, we have sun, and we have Jupiter. Air with the number 25, we have the sun with the number 13, and we have Jupiter with the number 18. So these might be relevant numbers. Also, let's see. In the Wheel of Fortune, we have fixed signs. So, oh god, a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Then we have Gemini with the Lovers. We have, again, the fixed signs with the Universe. We have Cancer energy with the Chariot. We have Libra with Justice. And then we have, okay, so air signs might be relevant. Yeah, I'm even thinking this person might be, okay, so they might have a very masculine energy because that's what's coming through right now. They might, for instance, have an air sun, or they might have a very mature, with this Jupiter energy, they might have a very mature guidance teacher type of vibe to them. I'm also thinking Sagittarius. Is Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter? Yeah, I believe so. So yeah, that's it for the signs. Now I want to take a couple of Moonology cards to see for a little bit of advice, just like encouragement or anything that is relevant for you guys right now. Ah, such a good reading. Oh my god. Okay, so what do we have for Aries? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and significant first house placements. Okay, I guess this one wants to come out. Your commitment is being tested with first quarter moon. What else for Aries fellows? Okay. Oh, new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries is actually gonna be coming up in, what is it, April or March? So that might be significant. Full moon in Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan. See, also perhaps with this Three of Pentacles, this might be just a completely different, this might be an invitation of like taking up some project or like focusing on something. Because I feel like there's so much like spiritual, ethereal, inner workings going on and so much spiritual energy to this that it might be, yeah, time to take action. Just like do something in the practical world to like balance all of this out and just ground yourself a little after this time of spiritual, psychic turmoil, I want to say, or like emotional intensity. I'll take one more. We have the energy is gaining momentum. See, this is all very much rising energies. It feels like this energy that is slowly, or like not slowly at all, very much not slowly, very fiery and potently rising from the Hades, basically. That's what I'm getting. And next, oh, I'm gonna take this one. You're very close to achieving your goal. Yes, baby, with Gibbous Moon. Oh, this one wanted to say hi as well. Don't let pride get in your way. Yeah, that might be a very specific message for some of you. That was it. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I think we've had enough information to process here. That was a pretty intense reading, and I'm very glad to see that this is energy that is turning very positive and very powerfully. So thank you so much, Aries fellows, for having me read your cards, and it's been a true honor. And please do let me know in the comments if it resonated, and I don't know, send this to someone who you might have recognized in this energy, who might need some, like a little pep talk, some words of encouragement, and I will see you in the next one.